And we are live. Hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals of audio and officially now video podcast land. And welcome to another exciting episode of Neon Memories, a light-hearted, magical 80s TRPG actual play podcast. I am your Dean of Magic, Mikey, who gets to run this amazing game. You can follow me all over the social medias at various iterations of Pop Culture Geek. You can also follow all of us collectively at Vibe Tribe Productions across same social media sites, where we are officially in release week at the time of the recording of this episode. So everything is slowly starting to drop. Subscribe, download onto all of the projects we got going on where podcasts can be found: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. And for now, we are officially on YouTube as well, both in audio and video versions of all these games as well. So make sure you give us a subscribe, download, a comment, review, whatever the things the kids say these days. Man, I'm so excited that everything is here, but enough about those things. As always, I am not here alone. I am joined by an amazing cast of players tonight. We're going to go around, they're going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to jump into this episode proper. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because he's the first on my screen. Damon, you shall be the first to go.
Hey. Hello, everyone. It's Damon, our Theater Cup 79 here in the Discordiverse, as I call it now, officially at this moment. I am all over the internet, but probably not in good places. But if you wish to find me, you can find me on Twitter at DMAGamer79. I am also a co-host of the Cubs Out Loud podcast. We're a bunch of gay bear hype folks doing conversations about everything and everything that we like, because it's our show and not yours. But in this show, I am playing Shanice Willis, the Rising Star Prep.
Oh my gosh. This whole cast has been such a vibe, and Shanice, I'm excited to see where Shanice ends up by the end of this game. Next to give their introduction is the one and only Connor.
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Connor. I am playing Eric Colmena, the Gearhead Rebel. You can find me in other Vibe Tribe Season 2 productions like A Walk Among Gods, where I play Delta the Reborn Monk, along with Damon, who's up there on my screen. And then also in Duskvale, where I play Danny Calaveras. I'm very excited to be here. And yeah, what could possibly go wrong tonight, right?
I don't expect anything to go wrong, but
everything could go wrong.
I guess that is very true. And of course, last but certainly not least, the one and only Adolfo.
Well, she cries more. Wow. That was some Billy Idol's straight 80s, because we are in the 80s here in the Neon Memories. I am the nerdy Puerto Rican, Adolfo. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on the TikTok. And you can find me, actually, this season mostly here on the Vibe Tribes, where Brave New World, I'm playing a character over in Brave New World. Over in the Academy, I'm playing another character over on the Academy. And then also I'm hopping in over at the Divergence, where me, Mikey, and Will, we talk some talk. And over the Biconics, where we talk about the wrestling. But here on the Neon Memories, I play Pavol Rasputin. Yeah, he is the Jock corn-fed athlete who came from the Eastern Soviet bloc. His family did, to break you.
You have no idea how much I missed that.
It's been wonderful to hear.
Yes. I'm so excited. This is going to be a great time. Unfortunately, we are down 2 members tonight. Our lovely Sutphin, who plays John, the new kid, who had an amazing Karate Kid moment last episode, which I'll get into in a little bit during the recap. And then, of course, our lovable Swede, Mikael, who plays our lovable nerd/geek Oldie, who all happens to be next door neighbors with Pavol. And that whole interaction I wasn't prepared for that, but it was great. And I can't wait to see. You can follow them all over the socials. Sutphin, you can find at Cosmos Prefect. You can also follow him. Actually, Sutphin's in quite a bit of projects. You can also find him over at the Crystal City. and Brave New Wild, in Duskvale, and season 2 of The Academy. The man's has been booked. And I love him to. Yes, booked and blessed. And of course, you can find Mikael all over the social medias at Dungaree Mike. Also, if you are a fan of wrestling and you happen to be in Europe, specifically the Swedish territories, you can see him live and in person. He has a tag team match later at the time of this recording tomorrow night. I hope he gets a win. I know he's been on a losing streak. Gotta support the friends here. But they will be back next episode. With all those introductions out of the way, let's jump into a quick recap. Last time on Neon Memories, ooh child, where do we begin? So we turned back the clock a little bit, and we got a formal introduction to both Oldie and Pavol as they made their way to the hottest party of the summer at the Chad's place. That interaction was great. Go listen to it last episode. It was fantastic. I was dying of laughter. We were all dying of laughter. It was so good. And once they got to the party, we picked it right back up where we had the Roadhogs, our sentient pinata gang, confront the Chad over some payments about some desserts that did not get paid for. And the Chad, being the person that he is, enlisted the party goers to help him fight for their right to party, essentially. Let me tell you, this fight scene was so good, watching people with super soakers and just all different types of shenanigans went down. And for the most part, our crew ended up doing pretty well defending the house until one of the big bad leaders of the Roadhog stepped forward, a giant elephant pinata, and decided to end this with a one-on-one fight. And our new kid, John, ended up being the person that needed to fight. And what I can only describe as a magnificent Karate Kid moment. Literally, just in one fell swoop, John ended up knocking the elephant pinata down to the ground, thus saving the party and making the Roadhogs disperse for the evening. And in a very cliche 80s moments, the whole entire party just threw him up in the air, was cheering, and the party continued into the wee hours of the morning. And that is, yes, and that is where we're going to pick up right there. So at this point, it is probably close to 4 a.m, and everybody is the party is officially, I think, is on its last legs. There are multiple people passed out, sleeping on the couches. There are people sleeping outside. There may or may not be some people who fell victim to Sharpie penises drawn on them, as one does. But as the party begins to wind down, everyone starts to head home. The Chad is just chilling in his jacuzzi in the back, and is just he has fallen asleep in said jacuzzi. It was a wild night for sure. And as everyone starts to disperse, all of you at some point begin to either head to your ride, or some of you get ask for your ride. So now this is just a DM question, everyone. So Shanice, you came with your.
I rode with we're gonna call him X now. So we're gonna rewind a little bit to just after the fight ended, because there was another fight that happened. Absolutely another fight that happened. Because I've literally just forgot his name. I don't remember his name.
I got my notes. Hold up.
Oh no, Brad.
Your ex-boyfriend now.
That's how bad it is, because I don't even remember his name. I'm probably forgotten it, because that is how quick she forgets these guys. But she is having the dramatic fight. We know, we've seen this in every movie. This whole I can't believe you. What were you doing? Why did I have to fight this battle without you? Why were you hiding in the corner? What the fuck is going on? She wouldn't have said fuck, but what the hell? What the hell, Brad? What the hell? Do you think that this was what I wanted to do this evening? No, this wasn't what I wanted to do this evening. I wanted to have fun and dance, and now we fought like sentient pinatas, which I guess is a thing now. and just going on and on. And I'm sure there is a crowd gathering, which is the point for Shanice, is to just have that like moment. And I think I am playing into the malfunction of dramatic. So I'm going to gain a heart while being overly dramatic about a situation.
Yes.
I am, despite that this is Chad's party, despite that this is the party of the year, in this moment, at this time, it is all about me. And I do officially break up with him. I had planned on doing it anyway, but I was going to give it like the morning, or at least the ride home. But we had the fight, and I go, we're over. Done.
It's like, that's a wrap. Finito.
Yes. I storm off and go find my friend to go dance this off. Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Brad.
I can
go
just
ahead.
imagine Brad just standing up. What do you mean, man? What do you mean, man?
He doesn't get a word. He definitely doesn't get a word in. She doesn't even look like wait for an apology. Like he's not going to apologize. No, there are no words.
Yeah, and he's just got that dumb look on his face.
Absolutely.
These dumb jocks out here. Yeah, Shanice, it's officially done. Finito, you and Brad are officially over. As soon as you storm off to go continue the rest of the party, Brad just stands there. He's just dumbfounded. And I feel like he stands there for a pretty good chunk of time as he's trying to process in his brain is what just happened. I got broken up with what?
What?
It's like he's having an existential crisis. So he's just, this never happened to me before. How do I feel these things? What do I do? Process just the internal monologue.
Yeah. And of course, the crowd is on Shanice's side.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You helped defend the party, and he was hiding in the bush when everything went down.
What the hell, Brad? What the hell?
Yeah, I also see Brad after the initial like shock and everything has worn off for the rest of the night. He's trying to like sneak his way into Shanice's peripheral vision and be like, "Look at me, I'm doing okay, Shanice. I'm fine. See, I have a new girl. Yeah, okay, she's not here. She's in the bathroom, but."
That is exactly what happens now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, Adolfo, I love you so much, dude. But that's why I love this game, because it's lots of collaborative storytelling. It is amazing. So Shanice spends the rest of the party just dancing the night away until it's time to go. You know what? Let's just go with it. So Eric, picking up after the Roadhogs leave and the party is now back in full swing, what does Eric end up doing for the remainder of the time at this party?
I think what Eric does is riding on the social high of like being a part of something when normally he does that whole emo's not a thing yet, but if emo was a thing, he's in the emo zone.
For the all intents and purposes of this game, because my mom was a child of the 80s, emo is the new term, but new wave was the way she described it, because that's exactly how she dressed. So writing, so new wave exists in this universe, but continue.
New wave punk.
New wave punk, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he is firmly in the new wave punk zone. Normally spends a lot of time alone or just with close, trusted people. And I think this time, feeling a part of the entire group, he's bringing around drinks. Not so much waiter, but more of, hey, have you tried these 3 options that I've do not drink this one, you will go blind. But I think he's going to be checking for who's driving, who's not driving. He really wants to like reduce the chance of potential harm because he's a good guy like that. But yeah, he's definitely socializing, talking through the whole room. Where he ends up with that, I don't know. But that's what he's doing. So he gives Brad a beer.
Gives Brad a beard. That's a slip.
What?
But
who knows, right? Oh my goodness.
Like, anyway, Shanice will definitely take a drink from you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm thirsty.
Yes.
And grabs probably the lightest drink, because I'm assuming you have more of that than the death one.
Can I pull a collaborative DM moment? Would you have looked before, or would you just reach for it knowing there's one there? And do you want to randomly
Shanice
roll
would-
for which one you get?
Oh, sure. Let's do that.
If you roll me
That
a
is-
d6, I'll tell you which one you get.
Okay. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna roll my rainbow
Do it.
die.
Do it.
5.
All right. Unfortunately, you did not get the moonshine, so you will not be going blind. But you did get the flower wine. So you got it's light, it's not too hard, and it's infused with wildflowers found from the local hills and mountains and stuff.
Oh.
So think like
that would be
dandelion
good.
wine, strawberry wine kind of stuff, but with a little bit of
Yeah.
harder. Yeah.
Shanice would like that. Yes, that worked out perfectly. She was.
That's
Yeah,
really good.
that sounds delicious. Yes. Yes.
Good.
So she just reached over and grabbed one and then sipped and was like, and then give a little tip to you. Did you make this? You
Did.
hear over the loud. This is good. Eric,
Hey.
right?
Yeah. Hi, you know who I am?
I know you now. And then I will turn away.
Eric picks up his jaw and continues on a lap. Because damn.
Yeah. You got a notice from the popular girl.
That is definitely going to come in handy, especially. Oh, Eric, I have so many plans for you when we get to college.
Meanwhile, Brad's sitting in the corner, shooting daggers out of his eyes at her. He's got his drink. and
Yes,
He's just like,
I love it. And I will
Gosh.
do a twirl and see that, and he will get a look of don't you dare.
he'll do the thing where he will totally get caught and he'll turn real quick, but the way he turns, he just rams right into the wall and turns back around like,
Oh, I
like
meant to do that.
you're right, yeah.
Totally meant to do that.
babe, I can hit a wall, babe. I can hit a wall.
You can hit a wall, but you can't hit a person. Can't defend me. That's not going to help.
Mikey, I'm stealing your NPCs, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Listen, this is a collaborative storytelling game, and I'm cool with
Oh,
it because
good.
it enhances the story. And it's going to turn out that
Yes.
Brad is the big bad all along. Because remember, a lot, pretty much given the way that this has worked out, everybody's going to end up going to this community college. So this is not just a one and done. Brad is also going to this community college. It's going to be a great time. I have so many fun stuff planned for everyone. So, Eric, you are networking, you are getting your drinks out there, and as the night continues. All right, this is going to be interesting. Pavol, what does Pavol do immediately after the fight and as the rest of the night continues? What is Pavol up to at this party?
All right, Pavol, the most important thing is he goes back over to where he put his borscht that he brought, that his grandpa made. When he goes and first, he puts the jacket back on because, lest we forget, he wore the circa 1970s suit that was given to him by his father to this thing, right? Not only is it circa mid 70s, but it's like circa mid 70s communist bloc style. So it's like super gaudy. But he puts it on and he grabs the tray and he will walk in his big old 6'7" black bear style. And of course, because he's a jock and an athlete, his chest is wide, his lats are huge. It looks like he can't wipe his own ass. And he walks in. And as he walks in, like the music is bumping, right? And he's just, I have brought borscht. Who wants some borscht? And he'll just go to people and be like, would you like some borscht? And because the music is too loud, people might like misconstrue and be scared off, or they'll do the whole thing. Yeah. What? But that's what he'll do. He will keep his hands on the borscht pretty much the whole night. And if anyone takes some, that he will of course give the borscht. But then he will eventually make his way to the dance floor, and he will do this. So he's gonna keep the tray, and then he's gonna do like this East German weird 80s dance, which is the in thing over in the communist bloc, but here in the US, it's what are you having a seizure? What the hell is going on?
Now is the time on Sprockets when we danced.
Now's the time on Sprockets when we dance. Boom.
Oh my gosh. Okay, two things.
But he's got the tray of borscht, so he can't do the hand thing. He just
Can't
does.
swallow the thing. He's got the face and hand, legs. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so 3 things. Number 1, that is amazing. Number 2, I forgot you had the borscht. You brought it, and now you're serving it to everyone. And number 3, your character. So I'm thinking about this, right? And I was like, this character is just a very bipedal bear, black bear, I should say. And then I was reminded, I was like, where have I seen that before? And then I'm just imagining Pavol is just literally Kuma from Tekken, like the Tekken fighting series.
Yeah. Not to give away company secrets, but I am drawing inspiration. There's this Russian superhero movie called The Guardians, and one of the characters on there is this dude that he's a werebear, and he transforms in this big fucking bear. Oh, I said the F word. We're demonetized. Sorry.
We're past 2 minutes. You're fine.
Okay, cool. That's okay. We'll fix it in post. It's fine. But yeah, that was my inspiration. Just huge, like, bar.
Hold up. Now I gotta look this up. Oh my god, you're right. Holy shit. For the listening audience and for the video podcast audience too, because you can't see this. I'm looking this up on Google and I typed it in. Yes, that is exactly it. That definitely tracks. Oh, it's so beautiful. We're gonna talk after, Adolfo, because I need to know how did you manage to find this obscure reference? It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I have seen. Oh my goodness. So the 3 of you end up dancing the night away, either dancing on the dance floor, networking, serving drinks, getting people to try your borscht. But as it begins to kind of trickle into the wee hours of the morning, the music has finally stopped. Everyone, except for you guys, a lot of people have ended up passed out on couches in the grass. Some people have somehow managed to find a spot on the stairs and are sleeping there. There are people just chilling, like fell asleep on various pool floaties in the pool. Some people have managed to find the couch in the garage. Like, either people are sleeping, they are just chilling and sitting against the wall, or some people are starting to wake up and starting to head home for the evening. And again, the Chad is chilling in the jacuzzi, just passed out.
That's not safe.
I just completed a CPO class, and I can tell you right now, it is not safe. Please do not pass out in your jacuzzis. Please don't do that.
He'll be so for the contents of this story, he'll be fine.
Yeah, someone will get him.
Someone will get him.
That's the way it is. Maybe Brad.
I mean, we have yet to reveal like Brad and everything that he may or may not be into. This is a judge-free game. Like, we don't know.
We here at the Brad Club do not condone a hot tub or any watery pool type thing. Please observe water safety. Bing.
The more you know. Oh my goodness. But as the party kind of comes to its rightfully so conclusion and everyone starts to head home. So let's just go over this. So Eric, you came in your car, like you drove here.
Yes, I did. Also, can I do one thing as Eric was leaving? His last thing that he did for the entire party, when there's a line of sleeping people passed out, I drew a Pac-Man game in Sharpie across all of their arms and faces, as much as I could interconnect it of different scenes from Pac-Man. That's all I wanted to do. That's all. Thank you.
That is absolutely what you did. It was glorious. All right, Eric, so you're going to end up driving home. Pavol, you got dropped off. So is your mom coming to get you and Oldie again?
You said it's 4 a.m, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, is that workout time? No, when the clock strikes 4, outside of the house appears this fellow humanoid bear, right? He's 6'8", and it has like black Eastern European black bear coloration. However, he has grays like here and there. He totally has the 80s like spaghetti tank top, and he's totally rocking like the shorts that might be a little inappropriate, but that's what they wore back then. And
Listen, we're trying to keep this historically accurate as a fictional game in the 80s as possible.
exactly. And he will actually walk to the front door and knock on the front door. Does anyone answer the front door?
So wait, you knock on the front door of your house? Is that what it is?
No.
This
The Chad's
bear,
house.
yeah,
Oh.
this bear knocks on the door of the Chad's house.
You know what? Yes, John's neighbor, our flying fairy, Julie, she just flutters open and opens the door.
All right, so this hulking bear is in the door, right? And we'll do that thing where we'll look like down at the ferry, and he will be like, "I here for grandson. Please come out."
Julie's just looking up. She's like, uh-huh.
And this is Pavel's grandfather, Boris. And Boris, which I said I think last session, Boris is Pavel's trainer.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so as soon as the door opens and your grandfather says that Julie is just, she is the type of person, she's not, oh, let me be quiet, people are sleeping. She literally yells, she's like, hey, Pavel, your grandfather's here. Time for you to go.
Okay, so Pavel will walk up, still in the suit, still holding the tray. And as soon as he walks up to the door, Boris just starts yelling at him in Ukrainian words. These Eastern Slavic words just start flying. And right away, Pavel starts actually running. And they're going to run home as the morning warm-up for their workout.
Yes.
And Pavol is holding the tray, and the whole goal is for him to not spill any of the borscht as he's running. He's trying to keep all the borscht.
Oh my god.
And you got to high knee it too. That's the other rule.
Yep.
High
Yeah.
knees. Yeah, how they get you.
Yep. We're talking total, not even like the good 80s action movie training montage scene. We're talking like the cheap American Ninja training montage scene. That's what we got going on.
Just running, just two bears just running.
Holding borscht.
Yeah.
So,
Pavel, kick.
Yes, so let's set the scene here because Pavel, as described, he's holding this tray of borscht, and the goal is to not spill it while he's in this very gaudy suit, and his grandfather is wearing this spaghetti strap tank top and like the too close for comfort like booty shorts. And it's like 4:00 in the morning, just running. I love it. It's beautiful. Alrighty, we'll get back to you, Pavel, because once everyone gets back home, we're gonna jump into some last minute stuff. All right, Shanice, here's your problem. You came with Brad, but Brad's a loser. Brad's a loser.
Brad's a fucking loser.
And you will not be caught dead going home with him. But now we have a dilemma. How is Shanice getting home?
Oh no. We might have to do something about that. That's bad. I don't know if I can do that. I'm almost tempted to do the cattle call thing.
Do it. Do it. Listen.
Oh yeah. So
the worst that can happen is that it doesn't happen.
They help you with the problem. So I have a problem. I need a ride home. And it is 4 a.m. and I cannot call my parents. No. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh my. So it says you make a glam roll to see how many extras you can afford to hire. So is it glam plus? Oh, it's probably plus the emotion, isn't it?
Yeah. So whatever emotion Shanice is currently feeling in this scene, and you will add your glam to that.
Oh my. So I know glam is a D8. I do know that much. So that's one good thing. I have that going for me. And then I'm looking at this list. She would have been rageful earlier, but she's no longer rageful. We're gonna stay green. We're gonna do trusting and peaceful. Give that a D6. Here we go. We'll see how it happens. Hey, 11.
Sweet.
8 plus 3.
Nice. So
get
an
enough
11.
people.
Yep. So you get enough people and you can afford their fee.
Nice. So I am, oh gosh. So I dig out my purse. I pull out the book. It's my address book. It is purple and sparkly. And I flip it because this is 80s. You didn't have a phone that had everything in it. And then I'm looking through it and I am calling and I need someone that is trustworthy. So I will call, I know who I'll call. I will call Jeremy, giving him a name. Jeremy is, we'll say he is, I know Jeremy's Pavol, but not a bear. But he is the athletic type. And I know that he would have been up this early to start getting ready to go to the gym. So I know he'll be up. So I give him a call and I'm like, Jeremy, you don't believe what happened. Brad and I broke up and I am stuck at this party and I need someone to give me a ride home. And I can't call my parents. Can you come pick me up?
Yes. I love it. Jeremy's just like, hey, no problem. I'm gonna be right there. And just give me a couple minutes and I'll be right there, Shanice.
Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. No problem. I'll
So
see you in a bit.
Yeah, that's totally how she gets home.
Yeah, so Jeremy pulls up in his car. In the back seat, he has his duffel bag. He doesn't mind giving you a ride since he has to pass your house anyways to get to the gym.
That's it. Yes.
All righty. So
perfect. Jeremy takes me home. So that's how I get home.
Yes. Just for added flair, Shanice, as you get in the car and Jeremy just pulls off with you to drop you off. Like the camera pans back and Brad is just sitting, like standing on the porch, and he sees you get in with Jeremy. He's just like, it's just like the lip quiver and the eyes are already red from crying too much this evening. And then he's just like, and he's trying not to cry anymore. And at this point, Julie with new kid John, Julie just looks at Brad and says, oh my gosh. It's like, get, like, literally just slaps him, get yourself together.
I was
snap out of it.
Yes.
I was gonna say it's
sad Brad. EXE has entered the building.
And as he's standing there, the camera like does the slow pan away from him, and the 80s Hulk TV theme from the end of the show plays. Boom! Really, he's just like,
yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Julie's just like, snap out of it as she and John get back in the car and Julie drives them back to the house. And then Oldie finds his way back to his home as well, which we'll get into next time and kind of figure that out. Alrighty. So with everyone leaving the Chad's party, granted this party is the hottest thing of the summer. None of you expected to end up fighting at said party, not to mention the local piñata gang. All of you did a good job of protecting the party, but obviously Julie, as the head, or was the head of the newspaper, still finds ways to make sure that news gets around of the incredible fight that the new kid ended up defeating this giant piñata. And that is definitely going to give him some cred when he gets to the community college, because many of these kids are, as well as yourselves, are going to go to this college. Alrighty. So now that everyone has started to make their way home, this is what I'm going to have to do, because this is going to be, I'll intervene a little bit, but this is going to be mostly my players here. We're going to monologue this. So I want you all to think about when you get home, how do you get inside the house? And then just walk through of the final moments before y'all realize, be like, oh yeah, I got to pack my stuff, get some sleep. And then in the morning, we're leaving for school. So I want you to give me last moments of what y'all are doing and any interactions you would like to have. Obviously, we can go with that, but I have randomly selected the order. So, Eric, we're going to start with you.
Okay. Eric, first of all, would drop Carrie off at home. I will leave it up to you, Mikey, as to how much Carrie had to drink and what she did at the party. But Carrie is definitely getting dropped off and walked inside through the back entrance of the house. But they know me, so it's fine. And then I'm heading home. And I think Eric just rolls right up to the garage and parks inside the garage. Like, he knows the sleeping habits of the house, pretty confident and a little rebellious of not trying to sneak. And everyone knew where he was going, so it was fine. I think the first thing that he does before he even goes in the house is he's going to take out all of the empty crates from the back of the Brad and load up like traveling toolboxes, things that he knows that he can use for class as well as just in case. He has a lot of just in case stuff already set up like in the back of the Brad. But he can move some stuff around, gets things weight balance in there, getting real nerdy with it. Goes inside and so his grandmother is probably sleeping in the recliner chair with the TV on.
Yeah, Abuelita she fell asleep watching her novelas.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I think he is going to adjust the blankie and make sure that she's comfortable, but this is her preferred spot, so that's fine. Get himself some water and head upstairs and crack the door on his little sister's room to make sure that Lulu is in fact sleeping and is not waiting up for him. I don't know what Lulu's going to do, if she's going to be awake or not, but that would be Eric's next stop. And then from there, is going to go in and double check the bag that he's already packed and unpacked and repacked like 4 or 5 times obsessively. But he's got everything he needs all set up, and then is going to try and get some sleep. But I don't think he will. He didn't have anything to drink at the party, and he's just still wired from the amount of social interaction. And I think he's replaying every single interaction that he had, especially with Shanice, to try and make sure he did everything okay, and that everything like went fine. And he's fine. He's not out of his comfort zone or anything, and it's fine. Everything's fine. But it's probably not fine because he probably talked too much, even though he was very silent the whole time. And he probably definitely shouldn't have talked so much, and he really needs to work on projecting an air of stoic and rebellious, I know what I'm doing, even though he does not know what he's doing. And I think he unpacks his bag and then repacks it like 2 more times. And that's just like his fidget for the next couple of hours.
Poor Eric. So Abuelita is sleeping. Lulu is asleep.
Good.
Prior to that, our lovable Gorgon, she actually was cool with it, and she didn't really have any much to drink anyway. She ended up like somewhat helping you out, but more so just chilling in the garage watching to make sure no dumb people try to steal the stuff, because obviously her and her little snakes would have dealt with that. But yeah, so Eric, you're just trying to sleep, not necessarily succeeding at the moment, but man, it has been a crazy summer. This party just capped off the craziest summer that you probably have ever experienced. And yeah, we'll see what kind of adventures await at the college when you move in the next day. Alrighty, Shanice, let's go to you next. So Jeremy is driving you home and pulls up in front of the house.
Yes. So I have him pull into the back. This isn't the first time Shanice has snuck out. So I have him we get about a few minutes away, lights off the house, lights off the car, pull into the back. I step out. He drives off. I wave goodbye because I need to keep that connection. Probably give him before I get out of the car, I give him oh, thank you so much, and give him a peck on the cheek, and then step out of the car. Then the heels come off. They are and then I climb a little bit up to my bedroom window because I'm on the second floor. And I have a way to get up there. I know how to do it. I've done it so many times. There's a little something like against the wall that I can get up on and then get across. And it's easy. She's done it 100 times. Her she always keeps her window unlocked, so she knows to open it, and then she gets in. That's the easy part, getting in her room. So then put her shoes away, change into something slightly comfortable, turn on her lights, and her room is so there's a mess on the bed from the outfits for the night before. And that's now it's sitting on the bed, but it's now been folded because they have maids, what have you. They would have had that. So someone would have come in. More than likely, this maid knows her enough and probably unlocked the bedroom window as she left. And her bags and chest are mostly packed. There are a few things left over, and there's probably going to be a few, because obviously. So Shanice will spend a good final hour or two just ruminating on things from the party. And then while she's doing that, she's humming along, singing a little bit, and going back and forth between her closet and the multiple chests and bags and stuff to making sure everything is set up to where when she gets to the college, it can be easily unpacked. There is a separate chest that her parents gave her, which will have some essentials for going to college, living on her own. But she knows she's not that far away, so if she absolutely needs to, she can come home. So she's not packing the whole room away, but some of the key essentials. And once that's done, she's kind of thinking about the party, cursing herself about Brad and realizing that she should have broken up with him before the party even happened. She had been thinking about it anyway, but she was like, oh, at least I can get to the party. And that would be it. But she's thinking about, like Eric was, thinking about some of the interactions she had and is meeting people she hadn't met before, like the bear and the rebel with the wine and the really strong nerd, that she's probably seen in passing all through high school, but has never given them any care or attention until now that we've had this moment. And then she'll remember the new kid that kicked ass and be like, I wonder if he has any real training, because those skills might come in handy. Given you never know what movie you might get, what role you might get, and you might need to know a little karate. So why not maybe get some moves from somebody? And he seemed to know what he was doing because he kicked that guy's ass. Yeah. And the guy with the wine, it was really good. I wonder if he'll sell it. That would be something to think about. And then with the Oldie and Pavol, whose names she'll only know just now, she will be like, those are good guards if I'm ever in a pickle. Those would be great people to have just in case. Not that anyone's ever going to fight me or anything, but I'm going to college and I don't know these people. So that's the kind of thought she's having as bring these people and the potential future connections that we could have, or assets that she can use. And then she'll finish her last bag, the bag that she'll probably carry, because obviously the rest of the things are going to be brought in for her. And then she'll put that next to her outfit that she has planned out for the next day, and she'll change into her nightgown and very easily drift off to sleep. She will be a little mad because she's not going to have time to do everything that she needs to get done because she stayed out way too late. But her evening routine can wait. One night without doing it is fine. Hopefully.
Yeah, Shanice, I love it. Shanice is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. Oh, I got so many fun things planned. Alrighty. So with that, that just leaves Pavol. So Pavol, let's go to you. You're currently last time we saw Pavol, he was running with his grandfather for the morning run. So describe what the rest of this is going to look like.
Okay. They run all the way back to the Rasputin household, right? And I'm gonna put this in general chat so that to help set the mood for everyone. Where did I put it? There it is. Boom. So in the house, traditional Ukrainian folk music softly plays in the house, right? However, the house is empty. The house is empty, okay, and the lights are on in the back of the house and the barn. And when they get home, Pavel's grandfather Boris will tell him in a Slavic-esque language. And I do a really quick sidebar. I do for the audience, if I get something wrong, please correct me on this. I'm totally basing this character on what I grew up with as my knowledge of the East Soviet communist bloc, which it's not like it is today, where you have East Germany and Hungary and Ukraine and all that. Because all that, when I was growing up, that was all Russia. And there was a very, like Rocky IV, it was like that stereotypical quote unquote Soviet communist, Eastern communist bloc thing. But that's what I'm basing this character on. So audience, if I do get something wrong, please let me know in the notes and whatnot. But anyway, Ukrainian folk music plays softly in the house. However, no one's in the house, right? As a matter of fact, in the back, let's say carport, the sounds of metal like banging and working out can be heard. So as they get to the front door, Pavel's grandfather Boris tells him in the Slavic language to hurry up and go get changed because it's chess day. So Pavel, he'll run inside. He'll place with reverence, will place the borscht on the counter, and then he'll run to his room again with as much care as he can. Will take the suit off that his dad lent him, and then he will put on the workout gear, the gray sweatpants with that are just a little bit too tight, the gray sweatshirt, the workout gloves, right? Actually, no, not sweatshirt. No, we're gonna go with the string Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque tank top for everyone. And as he emerges from his bedroom, even though the Ukrainian folk music is playing, as the soundtrack kind of starts to meld into rocky training montage-esque music, and Boris and Pavel will run outside, and in the carport is the gym number 1. And in the carport, his 2 dads are in there. One's on the bench and one is spotting. And we get right into the training montage, which starts with Pavel doing push-ups, and his grandfather is standing there, arms crossed, and he's counting them off. And then it goes into this scene where they're over in the neighbor's barn, and Pavel has to take hay bales and toss it up into the hayloft. And in this scene, again, Boris is standing there with his arms almost exactly like the first scene, except behind him are Pavel's fathers, and they're offset from each other, and they're all standing like this as well in that total cheesy 80s training montage thing, right? And then we cut to a scene where Pavel is bringing bags of grain. I know we live in America and we don't need bags of grain, but this is the way they live. So he's carrying bags of grain, and it's total, like, the camera is totally pulled back and like almost Pavel's silhouette as the sun is rising, and he's carrying these bags of grain and like drops them and then like runs. And again, the camera cuts really quick, and there's Boris and Pavel's fathers, and they're like just like they have been.
One of
And
them
then
needs a stopwatch.
yeah. And then, yeah, yes, one of Pavel's father has a stopwatch, and it's just slowly comes up and click. And then, the final part of this training montage is they're back at the neighbor's farm, and Pavel has the harness, and he's attached to a tractor, and he's trying to pull the tractor, like, it's only 6 feet. He's like really straining, and he falls and he crawls and he gets back up. He's just like, and again, his grandfather and his two dads are standing there, click. And then in dramatic fashion, Pavel will beat the time to pull the tractor. And as he does, he throws off the harness and he throws his arms up. He's just like, yeah. To which the camera cuts to his grandfather and his two fathers, and they just go like this. And then they go inside to have pancakes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, yes. A whole training montage, and then they had go pancakes. So then, Pavel, the last question I have for you. So after said pancakes, as Pavel finishes getting ready to leave for school the next morning, what does the rest of this time look like for you?
So the rest of the time, as he's getting ready to go to college, are they rooming at the college?
The way that it's going to work, and it's not really necessarily a spoiler because I will reveal this part, but by the power of what we call magical plot, right? All of you will be moving into the dorms. And of course, like most colleges, now technically this is a community college, but this is a fancy community college because most community colleges don't have dorms, but it is this game does. And like most college campuses, freshmen usually, if they are going to school and plan on staying on campus, they usually have to live in the dorms. So the way that this is going to work is all of you will end up being in the same building, but each of you will have your own rooms. So the way I'm basing it is that you all will share a kitchen and a living room area, but each of you has your own room within the thing. So there's going to the five, again, not a spoiler, but all five of you are going to end up sharing a kitchen and a living space, but each of you will have your own rooms in this condo kind of situation. You will also have your RA within the area as well, which we'll get to your RA in a little bit.
So funny, for 2 years while I was in college, we lived in one of the dorms I lived in, they had suites. And basically it was, the floor was, I think, 8 rooms. And each person had their own individual room, and it was just like a square. You had a bed, a couple of beds, and a couple of desks and closets. And then you had a central kind of area that was a living room. And then you had everyone had a bathroom. It had a mutual bathroom with a couple of shower stalls, a couple of toilets and sinks. And it was all around that. All the rooms were around that. So that is what I'm thinking of, but obviously probably bigger. I like the idea of it being our own separate areas, but a common kitchen. I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
I will not lie, I'm basing this off of my own college experience. So that's how it was. My sophomore year of college, I moved into the apartment dorms where there were 5 of us. We shared a kitchen and living room, but we each had our own individual rooms. So all of you will have your own rooms, but you will share a living room area and you will be sharing the kitchen. And then you will also have your RA living amongst you in their own room as well. It's going to be a great time. But anyways,
Nice.
So Pavol, let's get back to you.
Okay, so Pavol is finishing up his packing, which is, he packs everything in big duffel bag. Having fled the Eastern Communist Bloc, Pavel's family, they pretty much had to grab and just take whatever they had on their back. So they don't have they don't have any like luggage, actual luggage. They just have big duffel bags and whatnot. So that's how Pavel has grown up, is just packing light, just from the experiences of escaping that area. And as he's finishing up, Pavel's non-biological father will come into his room, and he will be like, he'll lean against the door jamb and look proudly at Pavel, and he'll say to Pavel, "Oh, my little Kubski, we are so proud of you. You are first to go to U.S. college. You do know how important this is, yeah?" Yeah, and Pavel, he's, "Yeah, Papa, yeah, I know. I will do my best to make you proud." And Pavel's father will, he'll put his hand to his mouth and will hold back a tear, and he says, "But my little Kubski, you already make us proud." And he'll go in and he gives Pavel a big hug, and Pavel will reciprocate the hug. And as they do, Pavel's biological father is walking by, and he stops and he looks in and he sees this hug, and he comes in and hugs as well. So now, like, it's the whole family's hugging. And then after a minute or so, Boris, Pavel's grandfather, will come walking by the door, and he'll stop and he'll look in and see that the hugging, and he'll walk in. He won't hug, but he will kind of lean his body against the pile, and then we'll just like pat someone's back in true 80s sitcom style. And the scene will end with Pavel's mother pulling up out front, driving her Porsche and honking for Pavel to that it's time to go.
Damn it, Adolfo, you're not supposed to make another character with a lot of heart. It was already tough enough during season 1. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. I can't wait. So, as the hours tick by, it does become morning. And as each of you wake up, and Pavel, you establish that your mom is going to be dropping you off. So, there's that. Shanice, who's going with you to drop you off?
My parents.
You're just
It is the tradition. It happened with my brother. It's happening here. I knew it was happening. They wanted me to go here. It makes sense. So we will have a big breakfast. And while we're eating, they are loading a trailer with my stuff that's coming to the dorm. And while we're having not dinner, breakfast. I think I said dinner. While we're having breakfast, that's what they're doing. And then my parents will actually drive the car. We'll have a light conversation. They'll give their final, "We're really happy for you. We're really proud of you. We hope you do well." And Shanice will fire back, "I'm doing this because you're telling me to. I could have had oh gosh, I could have been on a show. I could have been doing something, but now I'm doing this. But that's fine." Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to compete on Star Search. I was supposed to be on Star Search. So she knows she needs to go, and she knows she doesn't really want to, but she's doing it for them. But maybe this will be an opportunity, and she'll say that. It's like, maybe something bigger will happen. God, I hope so. And they'll give her the hugs, and then we'll all get in the car, along with probably a couple of the help. They'll come in with us, so that they can help unload the trailer once I get there. And then we will drive to the college, to the campus.
Oh, alrighty. And last but certainly not least, Eric, let's go to you.
So Eric is definitely driving the Brat, and we'll be keeping his Brat and it's a Subaru Brat. I realized I forgot to introduce the car. Eric drives a Subaru Brat with the jump seats in the back and a little homemade camper shell. So the Brat is a car. maybe a person in the future, but definitely a car right now. So Eric is definitely driving his brat, and so he's going to say goodbye to his grandmother and his sister that morning. It's a rushed thing because his grandmother has to go to work, and then Lulu's going to stay home. There's no other way for her to get back home, so she can't go with him. So they're going to say goodbye in the garage before he gets in and drives out after his grandmother goes to work. I think there's an amount of hugging, but it is not as felt or wrenching as the Rasputin household. I think it's definitely there's a sense of urgency. I think in the shooting this as a movie, there's no vocalization in it. I think it's all, there's music, and I think it's a score under it, no licensed music for that one. Yeah, so I think they are a very private family, and I think their conversation is also very private, and the few words that they do exchange, they know Eric's coming back at least to do laundry in about 2.5 weeks, because that's the amount of clothes that he has. So he'll be back. This isn't like a prolonged goodbye. It's a necessity. But yeah, I think it leaves first, and then it's just Eric and Lulu, and you can see Eric mouth the words, "Don't burn the house down," as he gets into the brat and takes off, leaving Lulu to close the door and then snap her little fingers and ignite a little matchstick of fire to finger wave goodbye through the window. And then Eric drives off down the road.
Lulu's coming back. I have plans for her to be important.
Oh no, poor Lulu.
Not in a bad way. Listen, I'm not said this when I put out the call for the games. I don't kill characters unless it furthers the narrative, but any NPC that a player gives me, I talk with them about it. I was like, and given the fact that we're using the lighthearted keyword being lighthearted, it's not gonna be too crazy, but things are gonna go down. Oh my goodness.
In that same vein, like, Lulu is based loosely off of my mom and my sister, and yeah, there are worse things than killing off a character, and it's giving my mom/sister analog infinite amounts of power, so be careful with that fire that you're wielding.
It's gonna be fine, I promise. But each of you head off into your vehicles, and you're all heading over as you drive and make your way to the college. So the final scene.
I have
one
more thing to add. Another car is being driven behind the trailer because Shanice is not going to college without a car.
Yes.
Putting that on there, yes. So
I think her brother's driving the car.
There we go. Sean is driving the car. Sean was at breakfast. Sean is driving the car. He's the only person she trusts to drive her car.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So Shanice is gonna have so we got 2 cars. So honestly, that may come in handy a little bit later. But the final scene that we're getting, as the camera kind of pans to all of you heading over to your respective vehicles and persons, or by yourself in some cases, driving off to the college, we'll get Oldie and John's journeys, last moments next time. But the final scene that plays is that as the camera kind of pans away from these cars, the camera turns back over and we fade back to the Chad's place. So thankfully the Chad got out of the hot tub, so he's fine. Like he didn't get crispied, he didn't drown himself. But the Chad is finishing cleaning up the rest of the remnants of the party, so everything is cleaned up. And the Chad just walks over to the kitchen counter, makes himself a cup of coffee, and just sits at the table as he's fumbling through some papers. It's like, all right, here we go. And pulls out this little paper. And he's like totally tubular. I can't believe that I actually got accepted as an RA. Let's see. Alrighty. And as he looks over the list, it's like totally righteous. I know these cool cats and dogs. They were here last night. And as the camera kind of pans out, the list shows all 5 of you guys are going to have the Chad as your RA, and all of you are going to end up rooming together. And so as he kind of funnily enough, he grabs his 2 suitcases and he walks down the driveway. He turns around, he looks back at the houses. I'll be back for the next party, but I got some business to handle. I got to make sure that these kids actually do what needs to be done and survive college. And the Chad walks up to his 1984 Echo No Line van. It's just this big old van. He throws his suitcase in, he jumps into the front seat. It's like, all right, let's make some memories. And he just floors the van as now he is heading over to the college as well. And yeah, that is where we're going to end the session tonight. When we come back for the next episode, everybody is going to be arriving to the prestigious Elko Community College. We're going to move y'all in, have some first freshman day shenanigans that are going to go down, and we'll see what the community college life has in store for all of our players and to see where their freshman year is going to take them. But that is going to be it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Neon Memories, a lighthearted, magical 80s TTRPG. This is a lot of fun. I cannot stress this enough. If you have not picked up the book, please make sure you can get it from Gallant Knight Gaming, who are the company that made the game. It is a fun time, and it is something different, so I totally recommend it. But as I mentioned, when we come back, we're going to kick freshman year off at Elko Community College to see what is in store for all of our players. What kind of adventures await? Will they survive finals? Will there be some shenanigans that go down? You're going to have to come back and find out next time. But from all of us here at Neon Memories, as well as everyone a part of Vibe Tribe Productions, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure you keep those good times rolling. Until the next episode of Neon Memories, we'll see you later. But until then, ta for now.
This has been a Vibe Tribe production. Remember, take care of each other, love one another, and as always, keep those good times rolling. We'll see you next time.